Welcome to this thing called life.
What it is, everybody.
What's up?
What's up, Dave?
Not much, man. How was your week?
It was pretty good. I'm feeling weak from the long week, but I feel strong because it's all done and I'm here with you right now in my favorite place in the cyber world, the podcast.
Yes, and speaking of strong and weak, right? So I've actually, let me tell you real quick. I've started this new thing. Now, obviously, you know about the whole eating healthier thing that I've been doing, and I've lost 15 pounds already in like a month. And that's not even going to the gym, nothing. That's just, my job and whatnot. And but now this past week I've started. So the wife wakes up, leaves with the kid, brings the kid to daycare, and then she goes to work. She leaves the house at about 7:15 in the morning, and then I usually don't go to work till about 8:30, 8:45. So when she leaves, I get about a half hour in a drumming in the morning. So I've started drumming again, which is crazy because I've stopped for a very, very long time and I miss it so much. So then I've started drumming again in the morning for about a half hour, nice cardio type workout. And then after that, maybe I'll go and get some push-ups in, get some sit-ups in and whatnot for another 20 minutes, work a pretty good sweat, and then go shower and then start my work day. So it's nice. It's nice getting up in the morning and it kind of gets the blood flowing and you go to work feeling good. I'm feeling good. I tap myself on the back, I guess. Humble brag.
That's a good humble brag, though. You should be proud of yourself, bro. It takes a lot to be disciplined enough to go ahead and do that consistently. So that's what's up, man. Good to hear that shit, man.
Thank you.
So today, bro, we actually have a special guest, very special to me, is my best friend. His name is Carlos, also an El Paso resident out here in Texas. Carlos, say what's up.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going, Dave? Nice to meet you.
What's up, man? Nice to meet you,
having
too. So, Mike, what do we have on tap for us three tonight?
Well, I've already been drinking a little bit, but I'll tell you what's on the menu. That was a bad joke. That's a bad joke.
That was a good one.
Thanks. I still did it in there in practice. Wow. All right, so topic one today.
Sorry.
So topic one today, which I'm very concerned about, Marvel Endgame. Now, I just caught up. I watched the Marvel Infinity War yesterday.
Oh, dude.
I don't know. Yeah.
How good was it?
It was tearfully good.
Dude. How sad was it when Spider-Man clenched or went to Tony Stark and was like, Tony, and just
So good.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But dude, I can't wait for the new movie to come out. It's gonna be so good.
Absolutely. So what are the predictions here? Because I've read a lot of stuff. My son and I, we actually sit at the dinner table. We actually talk about well, is Captain America going to die? Are they going to relaunch everyone? And then the report came out, something on social media was Chris Evans cried 3 times in the first hour of the premiere. So I'm thinking to myself, what's going to happen?
Well, I know a lot of those guys, their contracts are actually running out, and I think this is the last movie for a lot of them. For Chris Evans, for Robert Downey Jr. said thank you. Just whatever, brain fart there for a hot second. And a lot of the guys, I even think Chris Hemsworth's contract is out too for Thor, and so a lot of those guys ending. So they gotta somehow get rid of them. I don't know if that means someone else is gonna step up and whatnot, or they're gonna just straight up kill them off of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know.
Do you kill them off, or do you set them off into another galaxy universe type scenario where they exist on forever, but we don't ever make movies about them, but they exist on forever? You know what I mean? And then the other thing is you're right. The contracts make sense because everyone's getting very old. Robert Downey's old. These guys are getting old. Why can't we just send them off into the sunset and then bring in some new blood for the new MCU, which is going to bring in Fox's characters, the mutants? That's going to be dope.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm excited. I cannot wait. I'm counting down the days. I think it's 26 days.
Yep.
I'm super pumped. I'm gonna see it like probably twice.
Oh, dude, I know. And I think they said it's 4 hours long?
Really?
Something crazy.
Yeah, dude. It was to the point to where they were actually considering putting in an intermission. That is how long this Marvel Endgame runtime is gonna be.
What
Wow.
what movies have intermission? I think Titanic had an intermission,
Yeah,
right?
I think Titanic was the only one, and that was 4 hours long, right?
Yeah, but that was because it was cassette.
That was cassette. That was VHS.
No,
You had to flip it around.
right here. It's released April 26th. It is 3 hours and 2 minutes long, so it is the longest Marvel movie yet.
This
So
should be good.
Bro, at this point, being a dad, I pee like every hour. I don't know how I'm gonna do 3 hours without peeing. I don't.
no, I was reading too, and there's an app that has like it reviews all these movies, and it actually tells you when a good time in the movie is to get up and go take a piss.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
Right? So like it'll like notify your phone and say right now's a good time to go to the bathroom. This part of the movie is pretty slow. You're not gonna miss anything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, dude, there's just so much they got to cover. So that's why obviously it's gonna be a long one. But
Yeah.
so like
So Carlos,
theories.
Carlos, what do you think? I know you have 3 kids, wifey. What do you guys? Are you guys Marvel guys? What's up with that?
No, but I mean, we watched it like maybe like 15 times, literally. We rented it one time. I didn't get to go see it at the movies, obviously, with 3 kids, but we rented it 3 times. Rented it and we watched it 3 times before we returned it. And then recently, since it came out on Redbox, I've seen it. I want to say like 10 more times, and I just saw it right now before coming over here. So it's a good movie. I'm
It is so
excited to see it.
It is so good.
I think Doctor Strange pulled a fast one. I was watching it yesterday, and I think he pulled a fast one with Thanos. Somehow, some way, I think he did.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did say there's only one way to win, and that was by giving them the Infinity Stone. So
Right.
we'll see.
It's crazy how many different ways though he saw it. You know what I mean? He said, "I seen it
Millions.
13
Yeah,
million something, and there's only one way to do it." And it makes
Probably
you
the
wonder
scariest
though,
way, and
like
that's why it ended like that.
like how are they going to bring people back? It's the rise of the dead, and all that. Like, there's so many theories out there, and one of them, which kind of gets me a little bit, which would kind of get me excited, I guess, in a way, is them somehow getting a hold of the time stone, and then just going back in
possible.
time. And imagine seeing all that again, just in reverse, and then boom, it just changes instantly.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that would be sweet. Like, that would be pretty cool. But who knows, dude? It's so exciting.
Yeah, because it was kind of strange that Doctor Strange didn't use the Infinity Stone to his
Right.
abilities.
Right.
So
I never thought of that. It's true.
it'll come into play.
Interesting.
So
I'm so excited for it, though.
it's gonna be a good one.
It is.
Crazy.
It
So
is.
moving on, guys. Next topic. So lately, in my career, my profession, in life, I've been dealing with difficult people. And in the past on this podcast, we've talked about, getting hate and all that and getting jealousy from other people. But this is more specifically just difficult people in general. This could be a customer, a client, a family member, someone who's just fucking difficult. They just don't have like a rhyme or reason to be difficult. They're just being an ass. Now, Carlos, I know you're in sales, bro. Tell the people a little bit about what you do.
Myself, I am in the pumping industry. I used to sell security for a while, for 4 years, and then I moved on to selling Spectrum. Then I moved on to a local business here that sells pumping for throughout the whole world. So I'm in sales, inside sales. So I mean, it could be difficult. We deal with all kinds of customers, different ethnicities. So I mean, everybody has their types of views of what respect is and what's the line, when to cross. But most people think some people are crossing the line when they're just being honest. But I feel you. I mean, I get those people where they're hard on you, but at the end of the day, they're customers, and I had to treat them as customers. as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you deal with it. You just try your best to keep control, keep your composure when someone's being difficult, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's only been one point where I've actually had to tell the customer, you know what, I'm gonna hang up because I'm gonna lose my shit right now. So it's just best that I hang up right now. So I did that, told my boss, you know what, this happened. And I think he told me I handled it the right way. So he called them, let them know what's up. So, but I mean, there is those people. And as much as I've been dealing with, I feel I have a really good patience myself, especially with 3 kids. You know what I have, my patience is really high. So when somebody gets there, it really takes a lot for me to explode.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a long fuse. I noticed that. Me, not so much. I've created such tight boundaries over the years with difficult people that now, typically, I don't have to handle them as much. But when I do, it always tests me a little bit. What
Yeah.
about you, Dave? Do you ever like encounter people like on your route? Maybe even people you're delivering to that are kind of a pain in the ass?
You know, it's not really. I mean, usually everyone's pretty happy to see me. Like, like, yes, you got what I
Yay,
need.
my package is here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No,
That's
no.
that vibrator I wanted. It's finally here. Yes.
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, not really any. I mean, the okay, the only difficult people I probably deal with out there is the other drivers, other people that are driving. For instance, okay. Now let me ask you: if you saw a big brown truck, all right, in the middle of the road, and it's basically sideways in the middle of the road with its flashers on, are you going to drive behind that truck? No. Exactly. Because, like, here's a big brown truck. Like, why would you want to get behind it or either in front of it? Because you don't know what it's doing. Because now it's sideways in the middle of the road. So, meanwhile, that's me, right? I'm going to cut it wide because I'm about to back down this person's driveway. And then here comes this asshole that wants to just in a rush, wolf, right by me as I'm backing up. And goes directly behind the truck, just flies by me. And then that's the guy where, I got both doors open. I'm screaming absurd things out the window at this guy as he's going by, whatever, calling names. Those are the type of assholes, I guess, that I have to deal with out there on the road. Not really customer wise, though. You know what I mean? At least not for me, anyways. Like, but I have heard stories where some drivers are like, listen, I have to go now because you're really pissing me off. Because, like, there's some people that are obviously crazy, like you said, and but no, I not yet. Anyways, for me, it was mostly just other idiot drivers that don't know how to drive.
Well, does that even fall back on, like, to you guys? Can they call the company and report you or what?
Oh yeah, I mean, totally. They totally could. I mean, I even had an incident where someone just put down some fresh stone in their driveway, but they never packed it down. Like, they never had like a big roller come and like roll it over, like make it pack down and everything. So when I drove my big truck on it, I kind of sunk into it a little bit. Or I actually almost got stuck. I sunk into it and I created some huge divots and whatnot. And I got back to the building and asked my boss, I was like, hey, did anybody call about me today? And he was like, "Oh God, what'd you do?" And I was like, "No. Like, I didn't piss anybody off, But no, like, yeah, they can totally call our building and complain and all that. And people have before. But I don't think I have had anybody call on me yet. Not yet, anyways.
Well,
But
it's because Mike, it's totally different on your case, man. I mean, because you don't have to really put up with your clientele. You can cut them off if you like. I mean, I can't cut my clientele off.
No, that's true. Well, being self-employed, I decided how to run my own business. But at the same time, when I first started, I couldn't cut anybody off. When I first started, I dealt with a lot of people that saw a young, self-employed guy, and they took advantage, just like anyone would with a young self-employed person. Even if it's a mom and pop shop, people try to come in and pull a fast one on them all the time. And I started cutting hair in El Paso in the Northeast, and in the Northeast is not exactly known for the most stand-up people, So I dealt with some customers that are always trying to get one over. It'd be like a haircut and a beard, and they would only pay me for the haircut, not the beard trim, stuff like that. And I had to grow a backbone and create boundaries and tell them, you can't do that, and if you continue doing that, you can't be my customer. But I like both of you guys' responses, and basically that means like distance yourself from the situation, because if you're hot and you're angry and you're upset, you're bound to handle it the wrong way. But if you space yourself out and give yourself some time to think, then you're going to probably, come up with a better solution than calling a customer, hey, jag off, blah, blah, blah. Like that's not good either.
No, but
True.
it's weird because with me, like for some reason when I'm in uniform, I feel like a completely different person. Like it's just like a whole nother side of me comes out. Like if I get mad at something, because like it's like here you are, like here, or well, here I am, this big, object in the middle of the road, and you're being an idiot, and so like I feel like I'd have to tell someone off. But when like if that was just me in my car, and like somebody did that, like I wouldn't be as mad. Probably, I'd still be like, what the hell's this guy doing? Like, whoa, buddy, slow down, but dude, like when I'm in that brown truck, I feel like I can say anything to anybody for some reason, and I don't think that's good. I don't think that's a good thing. Like, I feel like that gets me in trouble eventually. But like, I feel like just invincible almost.
Just run somebody over.
Yeah, it's just like I just feel like I could say whatever I want because
you're like, do you know who I am? I'm the fucking UPS man. That's who I am, bitch.
I am the mayor of this
shorts?
area. Like
Something about down, man. Brings out the best in you.
Like, oh yeah, I have your package and you're running up behind me there. You're not getting your package today, mister. Like that's what I feel like. It's weird. Like I just have my own total control over the whole situation. And like, God forbid that was one of my customers that like did that. I probably wouldn't give them their package that day.
Damn.
What are they gonna say? They're gonna start yelling at you. Just be like, all right, we'll go pick up your package with UPS.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what? You can come pick it up at the building. I'll be back at 6:30 tonight.
Damn, intense. Well, actually, we can kind of segue into our next subject, right? This is kind of like the personal development portion of the podcast where we talk a little bit about our own things going on in our own life that are a little bit more closer to the chest. I love personal development because it relates to everyone, everything. It's a huge component of why we are where we are in our life. Personal development helps us become better at our careers, better dads, better husbands, better fathers. This is something that I just love talking about. But I guess what I wanted to bring up today was, what are we dealing with personally, maybe this week or the past couple weeks, that has been kind of like a reoccurring theme in your life? What are you doing to make yourself better? How are you growing? What's in your head right now that's making you go, I need to change this particular thing about me, or I need to add or alter something that's going on in my life? Carlos, why don't you start, my man?
Myself.
Put him on the hot seat.
No, that's kind of funny because lately, I've been really thinking to myself, and I think I have a successful life right now. I have 3 kids. We're young. We have our own place. We have our own cars. We got a roof over our head, thank God. But I still feel like I haven't accomplished enough. And lately, I've been having the urge to actually join the military, which is crazy because I've been wanting to do this ever since I graduated high school. But since I had my first kid when I was 19, it completely changed my world. So I decided just to step up and be a dad, be there for my kid, and lately I just been having that urge to just want to do more. And well, I think I'm gonna be taking that next step and joining the military for sure.
That's dope. So how sure are you about that?
More like 99.9%.
So you're pretty much there.
Yeah,
And so what do you hope to accomplish personally by doing this?
Just something that me personally have always wanted to do. It's not something like money wise. It's not. I'm not doing it for the money.
Is it the challenge? Is it the challenge?
I think it's just the challenge. The challenge to be different. See if I can be different. Which I'm pretty sure I can be different and handle this type of environment. So I really want to do that challenge and take that step for sure.
That's what's up. So, I think challenge is something that every man, well, most men, I think, I gotta be careful how I say this, but I think most men do enjoy the challenges in life. Challenges are something that I think help develop character and who we are, like who we become. and how we see ourselves. So I think that's dope, man. I think, I think challenges are good. I mean, Dave was talking about earlier how he gets in the, that's something that he's been doing recently. I don't know if you're going to go there, Dave. I'm about to ask you, but I think the challenge is something that I think all men aspire to. We want to be challenged so that we can ultimately change and grow and become better men.
Mm. Yeah. That's
So is that for you? Is that the same thing for you right now? What are you going through?
no, yeah, no, totally. Changing to be better men for sure. And I mean, that could go with the whole being a good example for my son, who's only 6 months old right now. And obviously that goes with like how I told you guys, or, how I told everybody on the pod that all of our listeners, including you, Mike, obviously, is that's the reason why I wanted to change my diet. I wanted to change the way I eat because, before I could before I could put a whole DiGiorno frozen pizza in the oven and then eat the whole damn thing in one sitting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like it's like obviously not good and whatnot. So yeah, it's changing for the better good of it. And I had a dentist appointment this past week and shit. And, she was saying, you got to start brushing twice, once in the morning, once at night. When before I would only brush once a day, And so it's
Tell
like,
my wife now. She'll get on your ass, bro.
so it's like,
Side note, real quick. Carlos's wife works with my wife. They're in the same office.
all right.
That's actually
All right.
Yeah, that's what we met.
So, yeah, it's
Ages ago.
just little shit like that is, changing yourself to be a better example for my son. That's definitely what I'm going through currently right now.
Of course.
So,
No, yeah, of course.
If I could speak on that, I remember when I had my son around the same time, 6 months. I remember doing a lot of self-reflection and the things that I was doing. I was questioning whether or not I was doing the right thing all the time. Your first kid is like, am I breathing right? Am I holding them right? Am I
Yep.
wiping them right? Am I loving them enough? And those never really leave you. They go a little bit closer to the back of your brain the more you get, better at it. But I do remember being a new dad, especially with a boy, Dave, because you're a man and because your son is a boy, there's something innate about that nature of like, I am the dad and I need to show him the way, like Simba, like son, like let me show you, how to live,
Yep.
Hakuna Matata and all that shit. So I think that's a cool thing that you brought up because I do remember going through that. It gives me a lot of good memories. My daughter now, I'm kind of going through that, but I don't know. I feel like I have that under control. I'm more concerned about when she develops into a woman and then I have to have a shotgun near the door. I'll worry about that when the time comes. But, you know, for me right now, I would say that my biggest challenge would probably have to be just being fatigued, bro. I don't know if you're always tired right now, Dave, but I'm really, really tired, like all the time, bro. I'm
Well,
33. This is
well,
my second kid, and I don't know how fuck Carlos does it. Like I have no fucking clue.
well,
But dude,
you know,
I'm wiped.
it's I'm tired, but Apex Legends keeps me up at night.
Mhm. If
Damn
you have
that-
enough
damn
energy
that
to
video
play
game.
Apex fucking Legend, you need to have another child, David. We need a second child out of you, you motherfucker. If you got enough energy to play PlayStation at night, I'm gonna talk to your wife. We're gonna
Dude.
get you another kid.
Yeah, man.
You-
It always surprised me in how I was able to do it because I used to work from home too. So I used to take care of twins at home. So it always surprised me every time I had to go take them to the doctor. People would always be like, "Oh, how are you doing?" I was just like, "They're just well behaved." I mean, thank God. I mean, like it was just like so amazing, like how chill and relaxed they would be. I think the only one that would get crazy is my son sometime. But I mean, he would just cry for a little bit and then all of a sudden he just doze off on his own. But I mean, it's crazy because they're just so mellow. I can take them anywhere, and it's just like. But my wife, on the other hand, I guess she has like no authority. So, so when she takes them to the store, she's just like, I hate doing this. I don't know how you do it. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess they just know who daddy is. That's all.
Damn, boy. Like that. Wow.
Shots fired.
She hates it. She hates it. But
Oh, man.
shit.
they just know how to behave with me. They're just so calm.
Dude, I don't think people know how challenging it is actually being a dad, bro. It's fucking hard.
It is. It
Like,
is.
look, I have friends in the barber world and they're traveling the world and they're teaching, and it's great. And I love the fact that they do all that stuff. And I'm starting to do that too. And I want to get into that too. But a lot of them don't have kids or don't have a wife or have a mortgage. And I'm like, bro, try living life for real. This shit is tough.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's true.
Yeah, dude. It's like I was only able to go do yard work today because the wife had the kid for most of the day, and she was out at like a friend's bridal shower. So she took the kid with with her out to her friend's bridal shower. So I had like 4 or 5 hours alone, and I was like, all right, I still got a pile of leaves that's been sitting back there since last fall, and they've already been snowed on, you know what I mean? So it's like it's time to clean up those. And I felt very accomplished today, and that was actually something else I wanted to bring up on the podcast too, was feeling like you got shit done. And just like, you have a day, and it happens, I'm sure it happens to all of us, where we come up with a plan and we're like, all right, this is what we're going to do today. But sometimes it doesn't happen. So sometimes we get lazy, whatever it is, and we sit around on the couch.
It's not lazy. We're fucking tired.
Yeah. And we don't get it done. Well, I had a pretty accomplished day today, and I felt good about that. So I got the yard work done. I took all the leaves to the dump. I dropped off all the bags, the leaves at the dump, and cleaned up the yard and cleaned up all the dog shit that's been sitting there all winter, So I've had a pretty accomplished day, I feel like.
So let's talk about some practical things, some applicable things that we can add to these challenges we're talking about, these personal things that we're going through. I think for me, it's the challenge of being tired and still having to perform a full day's work and still have to do all the things that I have to do, which is like OT stuff. I work 9 to 5 and then I get the social media bullshit on the side of it. But I think for me, it's realizing that it's all worth it, reminding myself over and over again that all of this stress and tiredness is all worth it. And that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a vacation, and there is a break somewhere. There's a silver lining at the end of all this shit.
Wait, you mean you're telling me that my kid's going to sleep one day all the way through the night?
Yes.
You mean that's coming eventually? There is a light at the end of the tunnel? Because I don't see the light yet.
Look, from what I've heard is that at 6 months they start sleeping more often through the night. But here's what I heard also, and I read this online from like a medical doctor, that you will not be fully physically normal, like energy level, like mental level, for like years after you have a kid. So like for 3 years you're gonna be fucked, bro.
I know. I already feel it. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But
it's insane. When we had twins and they first came out, when my first one came out, we used to take 2 nights on. So I would take 2 shifts in the nighttime, wake up with my daughter and just feed her, do whatever I had to do. She would do 2 nights, so we wouldn't get like mentally stressed out,
Right.
and actually get some rest. But now with the twins, we're just like, all right, well, we're just gonna take 1 each. So if your kid cries, you gotta wake up. If your kid cries, you gotta wake up. So I was like, all right, cool. So I let her have first pick. Okay, she's like, all right, well, I want the boy. I was like, all right, well, take the boy then. Well, I got to get the girl. Now, which was a bad choice because my little girl, well, she was underweight, so she had to stay at the hospital for a whole week. This whole time, the nurses there were like pretty much training her, like, oh, wake up and eat. Well, she didn't like to wake up and eat. She just liked to sleep. So when it was time for her to come home, I was like, okay. So I had her by the side of the bed. She just slept. Maybe wake up like at 5:36.
What?
And then that's when I had to take my shift.
What?
And she just hated it. She regretted it. She tried switching with me a couple of times. I was just like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You had your pick.
Jesus.
But I mean, it was crazy because even my oldest was the best, because I think at 3 months she started sleeping through the whole night. And then when it was like 1 year, she would just wake up like at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, just sleep, which was the best. But it's coming for you, bro. Just trust me, it's coming.
It's coming eventually.
Those early mornings will be gone shortly.
Yeah. He likes to wake up at like 4 a.m. and throw a fucking party for some reason. And so it's like, come on, bro.
Rage, let's go.
Yeah, he's ready to go. 4 a.m. This kid is nuts.
How's his energy level as far as like how functional he is? Like when he wakes up, is he like, hey, it's go time?
Oh,
or
dude,
is he more like
100%. He is go time. Like it's and like when it's actually time to wake up, like 6, 7, whatever. Like he's ready to go. He's up there talking to himself. He's up there ready to go. But yeah, dude, but I like my wife and I joke about this, and she's like, you got to pick your battles in a way, and it's like, would we rather have a kid that doesn't sleep and is well behaved all day, or have a kid that does sleep and cries nonstop like throughout the day? So it's almost like we have, like we were just talking to each other one day, and we were like, if we had to pick our battles, it would be the kid that is well behaved all day and that doesn't sleep. And that's exactly what we got. Like, that's exactly what he is. He is a great kid. He's never whining, unless obviously something, diaper change, hungry, whatever. But he's just not one of those kids that just constantly just goes off the rails. Like, at least not yet. It may come around maybe when he gets a little older, but so far so good.
So if you guys are like about to have a kid, say you got your baby mama pregnant and it's going down, and then you can, but you're gonna have a kid. I'm gonna let you guys know. Look, be prepared to not sleep or to not give a shit about yourself. It's not about you anymore when you have a kid. Mm-hmm. You'll come later on. Just don't forget who you are. Keep who you are in the back of your mind. But fuck yourself for like a year to 3 years. And literally, it's all about your kid. Like, do not care about yourself. It's all about the kid. No, I'm not saying spoil the kid or anything like that. Like, skip the lesson.
No, we already talked about that.
But you gotta ignore yourself for a while. Yeah.
And like you said, it's not about you anymore. So that obviously goes with certain things like we were just talking about, personal development, it's not just about you anymore. So you got to do what's right for the kid now. And then, you got to make a good example. And so, yeah, it all ties together. So that was pretty good. Good topics.
Yeah,
good topics.
Definitely.
Good topics.
So. Hell yeah. Any closing thoughts, Carlos?
Closing thoughts. Honestly, I just want to take another shot right now.
Okay, let's do that real quick. Hold on. Before we shut this down, let's take a shot real quick. Tonight we're drinking Bullet Bourbon with Dos Equis. If you've ever had a Bullet Bourbon, it's a delicious whiskey, Kentucky straight, and it goes down pretty smooth. What do you think, bro?
No, it's good. Definitely
sponsor us.
We're typically Jameson drinkers out here in El Paso. We like Jameson, but my wife really is. She's kind of a Bullet person, and we hijacked her Bullet Bourbon so we could take drinks of it. So.
She's not gonna be happy.
We had talked about this before with David. David is not a huge liquor guy. He went into it and then he got it right back out. He was like, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, I mean, if I'm looking to get, if I'm looking for a great time, look at.
It's kind of funny because we went out recently and it's so weird.
It's different.
Yeah, we like to mix drinks. We like to take a shot and have a beer, take a shot, have a beer.
Yeah.
And most people don't like doing that. Most people say like, oh, liquor before beer, or
beer before liquor makes you sicker, whatever the hell this saying is.
Yeah, whatever the saying is. But I mean, I think we just gotten so used to it because even when our kids were so young, we would just hang out at the house, have beer, have a shot.
Yeah.
But lately we've been drinking less, and somehow we've just been regretting it more. It's just ridiculous.
That's awesome.
It's like we used to drink a whole bottle and be fine, and now we can't even handle half the night, and we're already gone.
Hashtag dad life.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, bro. I think we're so tired that by the time we drink what we normally drink, it's like, bro, where were we? We went where last night? We saw what? What did I do? Like, we recorded a fight the other night. I don't go watch fights,
bro. Like,
we were recording a fight. It was like, what's going on here?
It was like it was like last summer. We were at a friend's house for like this party thing, and like she's got her and her husband have like 2 kids, and our son wasn't born yet, and we were at the house for like a party. And, it was like they had it's basically everyone bring your own beer. It was BYOB, but, they had extras, of course. So everyone's all right. The party started at 1:00 in the afternoon, like barbecue style, right? But everyone's getting hammered. We're playing Pong. We're playing Flip Cup. We're doing the whole every single drinking game that's probably under the sun. And we're all getting wrecked. and you know, it's like 5 o'clock comes around, you know, sun's still up, we're all hammered. Like I'm pretty sure I like went and passed out on the couch for like an hour, you know, like woke back up again, and like someone drew some stuff on my body, like I don't know what happened. But and then you know, 9 o'clock comes around, everybody's sobered up and everyone goes home ready to go to bed. Like it was great, like the old person in life. You know,
Dude, that is the perfect day drinking for an old person. I love that.
yes,
Start early,
I know.
finish early.
Like we all talked about it. And like a couple days later, like we need to do this like more often. Like this is the way we have to do things from now on because we're getting so old. We can't stay up late anymore.
You still get your 9 hours of sleep.
Exactly, exactly.
You wake up at like 7 a.m. like, hey, let's get breakfast. Fuck it.
Yeah. Everything's all hunky dory in the morning. Then shit.
All right. Cheers, Dave. Cheers,
Man.
Carlos.
Cheers. I'm empty. Anyways, so yeah, it's, you know, that's pretty much everything for today. Just dealing with the difficult people. Obviously, like we said, you know, you basically sometimes just gotta shrug it off, but other times you may have to speak up and stand up for yourself. And then also obviously personal development. That's that comes with, you know, it's like we said about the whole kid thing. It's not about you anymore, you know, and you gotta change yourself to be a better example and whatnot. So sounds like you guys got a party over there. Yeah.
We have a toddler party over here. It's perfect timing, actually.
Toddler party.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's my son. He didn't make it. He didn't make the cut to go to grandma's house. It was a girls' night only.
Sometimes that
Only
happens.
2 girls got to stay.
Alrighty then. Well, guys.
Yes, sir.
And
This wraps up podcast number what?
14.
What?
14.
14?
1-4.
Damn, we did good so far, bro. We've done
Really?
14. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Real quick, guys.
We're doing
I've been getting a lot of great feedback from my friends and from my followers on Instagram and my clients. And I appreciate all your feedback. But if you could please give me feedback actually on the podcast, that would be awesome because that's what counts the most.
Yes.
Hey, you guys need topics, right? I mean,
Yes,
let me know what
hit
you
us up
talk
with
about.
whatever you got. For sure. Obviously, go to Apple. Use your Apple Podcast app on your guys' iPhone and leave us a comment and a 5-star review, if you will. It helps us out in the whole rankings chart and everything like that because we enjoy doing this and we enjoy doing it for you guys, most importantly. So, and don't forget to go to ttclpod.com and you can find all of our social jazz over there. So. Anyways.
All right, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today. I
thank
appreciate
you.
you coming over, drinking some beers, having some bourbon with me and Dave, and it's always a good time.
Thank you, gents. Thank you for having me.
So that's it. I guess I'll see you
Good
guys.
night, folks.
I'll see you next week.
Cheers.